Today is a strong mobility class, and let me just say, this class isn't going to make you fall asleep because it's mobility. I'm going to be using a set of ankle weights. This is totally optional. You don't need ankle weights at all. We're still going to be getting into that strengthening mobility. And this is the shortened version of what is on my membership. I have a full-length version of this class on my membership. So if you enjoy this one and you want a bit of a longer session, join that one down below. I will link it. It's really good just to get that full mobility. But we're still going to try and have a good session in a shorter class today. So coming down onto your mat, rolling down onto your back. Now, I want you to bring the legs out on a long angle. So the heels aren't in towards the glutes. They are further apart. You're going to press the heels into the mat, flexing the feet, and then you can place your hands down on the mat. You're going to lift up with the hips pressing into the heels. So automatically you will feel your hamstrings switch on. And that's good because we're getting into the hamstrings and we're strengthening them. So exhale as you press, keeping that flat back, keeping the hips square, drawing that belly button towards the spine as you lift and you lower. Last 3, 2, last 1. You're going to hold it up. And now as you're holding it up here, I want you to externally rotate the legs. So the knees are facing outward and the feet are facing outward. But you're not lowering the hips. Now you're going to internally rotate. Let the inner thighs kiss, keeping the hips up in that isometric hold. Open as you exhale. Inhale as you close. Just spiraling that femur inside the hip socket. So we're really working into that mobility. Exhale, close, inhale as you open. Good. Last 2. Woo, glutes on fire already. Last 1. Open. Okay. Now bring the heels in a little bit. If they've shifted, just pulse it up. Keeping those legs hip distance apart. Lengthening through the knees, through the femurs. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering it down, bring the heels in towards the glutes. And you're just going to lift and lower. Just a normal glute bridge, nothing serious, just lifting and lowering with a flat back. Pressing into the heels, squeezing those glutes as you lift. Okay, now you're going to hold it up. You're going to dip the right hip towards the floor, keeping that left hip still. The knees are facing forwards, so you're just dipping that hip, getting into that lumbar spine mobility and the hip mobility. Exhale, lift it up, other side. Just dipping the left hip. Good. So we're working on just mobilizing the spine and the hip by doing this gentle rotation. It should feel so good if you've been sitting and you just need that mobility in that lumbar spine and the hips. Okay. Holding it here. Now, keeping the hips still without sinking into either side like we did with that rotation. You're going to lift the right heel, articulating through that right foot, hovering it off the mat without shifting the hips. It's hard. Lowering it down, heel comes down last. Other side, left, lift the heel, roll it up. Don't move the hips as you lift and hover. This is harder than it looks. And that's the thing about Pilates. It's always harder than it looks. People see Pilates and they're like, what the hell are you doing? It looks like you're doing nothing. It's pathetic. And then when you do it, you are crying. Okay, lifting it up. Last one each side, taking it down. Other side. Good. Okay, lowering it down, hug the knees in towards the chest. You're going to come down now onto your right-hand side. Lengthen that bottom arm, rest the head on the arm. Making sure that the whole body is in alignment. So you're pressing the top hip away, the feet are in line with the hips. You're going to bring the feet towards the ceiling, scoop in the abs and the core, flex the feet as you open that knee. Inhale to close. As you open, I don't want you sinking that hip back. Everything is staying stacked. You're drawing that belly button to the spine, lifting the core. So we're working the glutes and the core. Exhale as you open. Inhale to close. Okay. Good. Last 3, 2, smiling 1. Hold it here, extend. Can you externally rotate a little bit more? Because as we lengthen the leg, we lose that external rotation a little bit. Take it down, lift, extend. Bend it in. Okay. Good. Getting into that external rotation, that femur inside the hip joint. We're working on that mobility, on that strength. Last 2. Last 1. Kick. Take everything down. Lift the foot to the ceiling, coming into internal rotation, and then you're just going to extend it up. Tap the knee together. So the foot is always higher than the knee. We're working that internal rotation, lifting up through the core. Hips are stacked. Everything is still except that femur inside that hip joint. Pressing that bottom knee into the mat to help you to stabilize. Last 2. Last 1. Taking it down, patting it out, coming onto the other side. Okay, lowering down onto your mat. Your head is resting on your arm. Okay, feet are flexed in line with the hips. Everything's in alignment. You're pressing that top hip away so that there's a gap between your waist and the mat. Lifting the feet to the ceiling, flexing the feet, open, external rotation, close. Exhale, open, drawing that core in. Always think of the core. We're working the glutes and the core together. Those pelvic stabilizers are working, and they often get missed because a lot of the time we are doing squats and lunges, and it's all 2D work. It's front, sagittal plane work. We want to get into all planes of movement. We are 3D people, and we want to move in a 3D way. Holding it open, kick and extend. Can you externally rotate a little bit more? Don't lose that external rotation as you kick that leg. Inhale as you close. Exhale, open and kick. Good. Feeling that glute switch on. Externally rotating. Last 3. 2. Last 1. Good. Ooh, my knee cracked. Taking it down, lift the foot to the ceiling, and then take it out. Lengthen through that leg. Knee taps, extend. Good. Okay. Last 4. Find that length. The foot is always above the knee. Last 2. Last 1. Good. Take it in. Tap up that hip. Lifting up. Let's do a little bit of core work as well, because this is Pilates after all, and we want to also get into the core. Okay, lowering it down, lift the legs up to tabletop, pressing that lower back into the mat. You're going to take your hands behind your head. Okay, we're going to come up into that ab curl. Exhale as you lift, scoop in the abs. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Gaze comes towards the upper thighs, not the knees, not the ceiling, the upper thighs, so that you're not straining into the neck. Lift. Thoracic flexion. And then we'll get into some extension. Okay. Last 2. Last 1. Holding it up. Extend the right leg, and then switch. Good. Scoop in the abs. So I don't want the knee to come over the hip further than over the... Now I can't talk. I want the knee to stay stacked over the hip as you extend the opposite leg, is what I'm trying to say. But this is the second class that I'm filming now, so my words aren't exactly working. Okay, drawing the abs in, lifting up into that thoracic curl. Lift. Lift. Good. Okay. Bend it in. Extend that right leg to the ceiling. Lengthen through that left leg. Switch. Switch. Good. I want you to find length through those legs, pressing that lower back into the mat. Find that length. Hold that right leg in. Twist towards it. Good. Left leg. Twist. Last two. Twist. Good. Last one. Bring it in. Hug it in. Release. That was hectic ab work. Oh, my abs are shaking. Okay, just windshield wiper those legs. And then rolling up, come to a forward kneeling position. Knees under shoulders. Knees under shoulders. See, this is the second class I'm teaching today. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Lengthening through the spine, nice arch in the back, tucking it under, rolling through the spine. Exhale, scooping the abs. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale as you tuck it under, pushing the floor away. Good, inhaling and lengthening. Exhale as you tuck it under, come into a flat back. I want you to take the knees further back. Good. Now you're going to arch through the back, send the glutes over the heels, rounding it back into that shell stretch. Now flexing the spine forward, rippling it forward, and then sinking the hips lower, unraveling, arching the back, take it back, lead with the glutes, taking it back over, and then flexing it forward, rippling through the spine, lowering the hips, head comes up last, taking it back over, finding that beautiful extension and flexion of the spine, scooping in the abs, rolling it down, unraveling, hold it here. Okay, take that left leg out in a 90-degree angle, try and square off the hips, slight bend in the elbows. Now you can lower the chest down, exhale as you lift, squeeze those elbows in towards the waist, lowering it down and then lifting. Good. Let's go for another 3. Last 2. Last 1. Good. Hold it here. Slight bend in the elbows, opening up the chest, shoulders down and back, looking straight ahead. Feeling that beautiful hip flexor stretch on the right side. Okay, taking it back, arching it back, take it over, release that back. Taking a deep breath. Shifting it forward again. Shifting the hips forward, lowering it down. Taking that right knee out in a 90-degree angle, squaring off the hips. Good. Elbows come, you can shift the hands a little bit forward if you need to. Find what feels good for you. Elbows come in as you lower down. Exhale, press it up, slight bend in the elbows. Lowering it down. Drawing that core in, not flaring in the ribs. Pressing the floor away with the heel of the hands. Last 3, 2, 1. Hold it here, slight bend in the elbows, feeling that beautiful hip flexor stretch on the left side. Just opening it up, breathing into it, opening up the abs that we just worked so hard. Shoulders down and back, trying to release into it, releasing tension. Okay, taking it back, bring that leg in, shifting back into a shell stretch, a nice counter stretch for the back. Reaching the arms long. Okay, take the hands to the left-hand side. Take the right hand over the left, coming into that lateral flexion of the spine. And then we're going to go into the other side. Okay, left hand comes over the right. Beautiful stretch into that sideways, into the shoulder. You come back to the center. And then I want you to just rest here for a second, take a deep breath. On your next exhale, You're going to scoop in the abs. And then roll it up vertebra by vertebra all the way. Release the shoulders from the ears. Roll out the neck in opposite direction. Trying to release any tension, mobilizing the neck and the shoulders. And that's it for today's class. If you have enjoyed this one, I have the full length class down below. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. I would love to see you in one of my Pilates classes again. Leave a comment so I know who you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.